Now we have so much to talk about with our next guest, Jessie Adisa, popularly known as Papeeyah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Wow. Okay, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to read this properly because it says here that you were selected as one of the young emerging African creators by Meta, or AKA Facebook.
Yeah.
Now, Made by Africa, Loved by the World is the campaign they're running.
Yes.
And honestly, the world of influencing now has just, it's way beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
But you need to let us in on your story, Papeeyah. How did this all begin for you?
Honestly, it's quite a funny story because it was just me, like my everyday self back then, just being me and subconsciously cracking everyone around me up. And then my brother's very good friend was like, no, you really have to open an Instagram account.
Okay.
I'm like, sorry, what's that? Because then I was not even really into the social media scene. I never saw it as anything, but apparently it was a really big deal. And then she literally opened the account for me.
Wow.
Yes, my current Instagram account was not opened by me. She opened it for me and set me up and all of that extra stuff. It was really confusing to even start with. But then I just tried and I got inspiration from so many people I looked up to and then just started posting from there.
So now your focus is comedy, right?
Yes, comedy and lifestyle.
Comedy and lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this always the plan, or you just wanted to put something out there?
Oh, honestly, if you ask me years ago, I would say I was going to be the next Michael Jackson because I saw myself doing music. So I never, the trajectory is not actually what I envisioned for myself where I am right now. I thought I was going to be doing music and putting music out there every time. But there was this talent I wasn't even really looking at because that's how we started. And then apparently it was is this really big deal? So no, it wasn't really what I saw happening. But just kind of happened.
All right, so when it comes to Instagram now, there's a lot of people putting content out there.
Yes.
So many people putting content out there. How do you stand out? And what do you think you've infused into your content that has helped that happen?
Okay, I would say my authenticity because I like to stay true to myself. I don't let, I won't call it noise, but I don't let distractions get to me because you said, there's a lot going on social media space, but I just always like to remind myself what I like to do and just do it at its best every time I have to do it. So that's just what makes me different, I believe.
All right. So now the campaign is all about African content. Did you ever really see yourself as an African content creator, or you were just a creator?
Honestly, I see myself as an African content creator because I like to ingest or put in or infuse a little bit of Africanness in every content I create, so to speak. If it's not in the dressing, if it's not in the food, it's in the language, because I'm a Yoruba boy.
Okay.
You'd always hear me put a little bit of Yoruba here and there, or pidgin. So yeah, yes, I would say so.
So I have to ask, what are the funniest things you've heard from your followers on Instagram in response to your videos? You need to let me know.
Funniest thing? I really don't know. There's just
the responses.
Yes, the responses are always good. Everyone is always laughing. And sometimes we also talk serious things. We talk reality things. We're not always just laughing. But yeah, responses have just been really good. And yeah, overall, yeah, really good.
So I need to actually talk about Instagram and of course the Meta platform itself.
Yeah.
Because over the years, everything has changed. A lot of things have been infused into the platforms to make things different.
Yeah.
But do you think it's made things easier? And what are the little features that you look forward to using whenever you post?
Yes. So apparently they added, almost every year or every month, so to speak, you always see new updates, little switches here and there. And yes, they've actually helped creators, or let me speak for myself, they've helped me. And one of my favorite features on Instagram would be the ask me a question feature in the story, where you can post and because that just helps me communicate with my audience faster and even more interestingly, because we usually do this crazy confession stuff sometime, and then they just confess some crazy stuff and then I react to it on my story. I think that's my favorite feature on the app actually.
Okay, so you put out that box that says ask me a question, and then people ask you weird questions and then you respond in your character.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. Amazing
Thank
stuff.
you.
But I'm really wondering, what it means to be named as one of the creators. Now, what have they told you? What have they talked to you about when it comes to this campaign?
From Meta?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was just basically about telling the story of Africa through my view, like how I see Africa and like, the struggles, the beauty, the cries, the laughters. And the beginning of the campaign, the first video we were told to put out was like an announcement. So they gave us like creative freedom. And the best way I could have communicated that was, I don't know if you saw my video, it was like I was walking through the streets of Lagos. I was like, come with me through the hustle and bustle of Lagos.
Okay.
I bought suya.
Wow.
I bought ice cream from this booth. I used to push ice cream like
carts, yeah?
Yeah, so I did all of that. And it was just my own way of saying how I saw my Africa, because Africa is very diverse, but that's how I see my Africa. So that's how I was able to infuse that into the first part of the campaign. And then the other one was like, just go all out for this, because it had to be like bam, bam. And then I did Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, Gongo. Everything was just like, I had to show them.
Honestly, I can see, and I can even feel the energy. And
Right.
So I feel like platforms like this have given young people a window to the world, and also putting some money in your pocket. Let's talk about, did you ever think that you could make this much money from what you're doing?
From social media, no, because if you asked 5 years ago me, I would say I would never be on social media, because everybody around me then made it look like such a bad thing, in the sense that, why are you wasting your time on social media? It can't favor you. And trust me, they were looking out for me, because if you're just there and you're like really confused, you could get lost, and it's just them being worried for me. But apparently I had something to offer, and that kind of like turned into something lucrative, and like I'm earning from today. But I never knew when I started that I could actually make money off social media.
But you are now influencing, of course. And there are other young people that are looking at you, like looking at a young guy like themselves, like wondering, how can I, get started? What advice do you have for them?
Yes, so to get started is as literal as it can get, just get started. Because many times people often make the mistake of having to like, oh, I want to have this whole setup studio, I must have this kind of camera, I must have a ring light, I must have a whole setup. It's just literally start where you are with what you have, and like work your way to what you want to be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So that's just literally it. And then consistency is also key, because you have to be consistent. Like, just keep coming back. Just try to keep showing up, because that's what makes you relevant.
Yeah. I like that term, consistency. So in terms of consistency now, how many times do you post in a week?
Well, in a week, usually I'm always busy on set, because I always have like other shoots to attend to. But if it's not like a very hectic week of like back-to-back shoots, like today I'm on CVC, tomorrow I'm on like it's like I could post, say, 3 times a week, sometimes 4. And then if it's like with all those back-to-back shoots, I must ensure I post at least 2 times a week.
All right.
Because there are also like branded ads I must put out, so it must go out. Regardless of, oh, I'm tired, I can't even post today, I have to put something out.
So this is work. This is work. You're taking it extremely seriously.
Yeah,
You've put together a structure, and as you can see, it's looking good on you. Loving it.